This is Dave Simon. I want to talk about the whole idea of touch points. What are they, and what do they mean for your music studio? My definition of a touch point is any interaction that might affect the way your customers feel about you, any interaction that they have with your business. So that includes any digital or virtual interaction. And then it also includes interactions they have with you when they're in your studio, when they're physically interacting with you. So let's just kind of go through the whole sales process and customer experience process and see if we can identify different touch points, and then explore some different ways that you can really make those touch points more impactful. So, typically the first touch point that a customer is going to have with you is them hearing or discovering you online. So let's say they come across a Facebook ad or an Instagram post. What message, what feeling are you conveying? And more importantly, what feeling are they experiencing by looking at your content? I mean, you cannot control what they feel, but you can certainly suggest a feeling or try to direct them to a feeling. Maybe you've got a picture of a smiling kid, or of a 30-second video of this cute, happy kid playing guitar, big grin on his face, and some text that also adds to the warmth of the ad. So there's a touch point right there. Then the person, that interested person, now lands on your website. They click the learn more. Now they're on your website. New touch point. What are you doing to build on that feeling? Is it are you taking it a step or up another level? Are they landing on your website and saying, wow, I felt this way when I saw the Instagram post. Now I'm on their website, and yes, I'm feeling this feeling even more. There's a consistency now. They seem to really be all about making kids happy and getting kids excited about music. So there's another touch point. Then they opt in. You have a get started button on your website. They click on that, they put in their email address, and then they get a return email, an auto reply email from you. And the language in that email now is a new touch point, an additional touch point. You want that language in that email to continue building on this feeling. I mean, look, this customer doesn't trust you yet. There's been no human interaction yet, but they're already forming an opinion. They already are forming feelings about you. So they get that, auto reply email, and you schedule a phone call. Now you're on the phone with them. Big touch point, right? Now it's your personality, the way you interact really needs to be consistent with the slow building opinion and feeling that this prospective student has formed. And typically this sales call is really, one crucial moment where the prospective customer is really going to walk away feeling like, yes, there has been this consistency. This guy on the phone seems great. And so you've built even more on that touch point. Then you send up a follow-up email to them. Another touch point. You're either building on or adding on to that good feeling, or you're, worst case scenario, bringing that feeling down a little bit, deflating it. Maybe all of a sudden that email to them, there's lots of typos and it seems a little cold. It would certainly be inconsistent with everything that's happened to that point, but you want to make sure that you're continuing to build on that good feeling. Okay, the next touch point, and you know what? All these touch points that I've mapped out so far, these are all touch points that the customer has expected and anticipated. The key is, can you create touch points that the customer doesn't anticipate? So let's say, for example, you email them, you got the lesson confirmed. This all happened after the nice conversation you had with them on the phone. And then they get a welcome video from their teacher Oh, hey, Billy. My name's Devin. I'm really looking forward to meeting you next Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Want to learn all about you and your interest in music. I'm sure we're going to have a great time learning and playing music together. Boom, you send that video off. That's an unexpected move on your part. And it's an unanticipated touch point. Just the mere fact that you sent that video now means you have gone beyond the expectation of the customer, which is huge. And you want to identify what added touch points can you create in the process. You don't, like that little video from Devin was not a big deal. It probably took Devin 20 seconds to make, but the impact is much greater than the 20 seconds. Okay, so then the family comes in for the first lesson. They pull up to the building. They see the facade of your building. Boom, another touch point right there. Wow, look at that. That's a nice, lit up sign there. And, they have this, the customer, before they've come, they have expectations now. They've had this experience in the facade of the building. Guess what? It also adds on, it builds on this positive feeling that's been developing. Now for the students, their first touch point was that video. And now their second touch point is seeing the front of the building. Okay, so mom's had a few more touch points than the child. The child's had a couple. They step into the building. Boom, another touch point. They step into your lobby and there's parents there and there's kids there and it's kind of loud and high energy. And standing behind the desk is this, kind of gregarious person chatting up the crowd there in the waiting area. And the person turns to the customer and says, "Hey, you must be, Cheryl." And, "Oh, wow, yeah, I am. Well, I guess, this person was waiting for me." Another touch point. They're now having that first face-to-face. "Oh, hey, I'm Dave. I know Dave. We talked on the phone." So you're building on all these expectations still. And then here's an idea I got from Mike Grande. I think Mike Grande and Danny Thompson's Music Lesson Business Academy talked about this, how he has a poster in his lobby, kind of in the office area. And I don't remember what it says, but it's an image of a kid having a kind of successful musical moment, and there's one word behind it. Maybe it's achievement. I can't remember what it is, but the whole purpose of that is to drive home sort of the core message of what the studio's all about. So there's so as that parent is interacting with you, the posters, the artwork that you have there in the office is also building on this experience. And if you've played your cards right and you've built this, kind of arc up, the customer is really feeling great now. They haven't even had their first lesson, but every step along the process has been positive, and these early steps are super crucial because it doesn't take much. One little crack, one little negative experience. Maybe when the customer steps into the office and the person's like, "Oh, who are you? What are you here for?" "Oh, I'm Cheryl. I'm here for our first lesson." "Okay, Cheryl. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Cheryl, you've got a lesson with Devin." Okay, well, that's a bad experience. That's not a touch point that would be utilized well because the person behind the desk wasn't ready for Cheryl to come in. Cheryl would really be amazed if there was this sort of feeling of excitement and anticipation when you arrive. What if when Cheryl steps in, there's a sign that says, "Welcome Cheryl and Jimmy," or maybe not Cheryl, but it has the kid's name, Jimmy. "Welcome Jimmy to your first guitar lesson," and it's on some big LED display. Well, that's another touch point. Really exciting. It's a touch point that the customer didn't anticipate. Customer did anticipate the touch point of stepping into the building. So then everything that's going to follow, and the next steps here, these are all going to be new touch points. The teacher comes out. Devin comes out. What was that beep? Devin comes out and he reaches out to Cheryl's hand, shake her hand, looks her in the eye, and says, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Devin, and you must be Jimmy." Okay, another touch point right there. Devin seemed like a really nice guy in the video, and he seems like a really nice guy in person. Devin says, "Okay, great. Well, today, this is our first lesson, and here's what we're going to do today. Here's our goal." And then at the end, Mom, I'm going to have you come in for the last 5 minutes, and we're going to play for you what we worked on today. Mom goes, "Oh, that's great." And Devin says, "Oh, you know what? Why don't you go sit back in the lobby there? There's a little kitchenette area. There's a coffee maker. Help yourself." Wow, Mom feels so welcome. She goes back into the lounge area. And wow, look at the decor. Another touch point. Now she's kind of seeing the colors. She's seeing the design of the space. The coffee maker looks nice. There's some variety and choices. And she, sits down and gets out, her computer. And that whole experience there is another touch point. So then, first lesson's over. Mom goes, Devin comes out and he talks at the end of the lesson. "Hey, we had a great lesson today. Why don't you come in? We're going to play for you." Another touch point. And then Cheryl and Jimmy go home, and 3 days later in the mail, there's a little postcard from Devin. "Hey, Jimmy, it was really great meeting you. Really excited about our, future together, playing music together." An unexpected touch point. So there's another one right there. Okay, so 2 weeks go by, and you call your new student up. "Hey, this is Dave. Just checking in to see how everything's going." Another touch point, an unexpected touch point. Okay, so you kind of see where I'm going with this. It's all about having these touch points systematized. So now it's 3 months later. Little Jimmy's playing in, let's say, a junior rockers band. And it's 4 months later, and they have their big concert. They come to the venue, and there's a table there set up with posters, and there's kind of a whole, that's where you've got the program. Each one, the program, the posters, these are all different touch points. This is a new experience for the customer coming to your school concert, and really taking the time and the effort to go, how do we make that entrance into the venue special? How do we, surprise them and make it a great experience? One thing that we did at our last concert, which was a huge hit, is I spent $70 and I had a graphic designer design a concert poster. I actually have him do it for our recitals as well. And I greeted people. I didn't MC the event. I usually MC our events. And I stood at the front, and after a band played, the MC would say, "Okay, I want you guys all to go to the front. I'm going to meet up with Dave. You're going to have a press conference and an autograph signing." Wow, what's this about? New touch point. The kids come up to the front where I am. Their parents are trailing behind them. And I'd ask them, I get my camera out, and I'm like, "Okay, you guys, I'm here with the Electric Stars. You guys did an amazing job. I want everyone to go around, tell me your first name and what instrument you play." Every kid answers. "Great. What do you like most about playing in a rock band?" Every kid gives me their own answer. And if one of your friends wanted to be in a rock band and was a little bit nervous about it, was a little bit scared about what it might be like, what advice would you give them? And that was the most popular answer. That really got the kids talking. There's their interview. Put it up on social media. "Okay, guys, now come over here. We're going to have our autograph signing party." Put a poster down for each kid. Get Sharpies, and they all sign each other's posters. And that's it. Super simple. Huge touch point. I got a lot of value out of that. Cost me $70. All it took was a little creativity and thought, and put it into action. So there's kind of a walk through different touch points. There's a lot more than touch points that you can identify in your studio. These are just a few that I picked out, but there are touch points that customers expect. Make those expected touch points, make sure that they live up to the expectation. and see if you can go a little bit above it. If you just go a little bit above or beyond their expectation, it's a huge win. And then if you can identify touch points that they don't anticipate, now you're really moving towards creating a culture of amazement within your music studio.